Hi guys, welcome back to episode 2. Honestly, it is so hard to be consistent, and I really don't know. Sorry, gotta fix my little bun there. Ooh. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I uploaded my first one, and I thought I was gonna be more consistent with you guys and upload, but it's hard. It is hard. Like, my schedule with work, and I promised myself this is going to be my New Year's resolution, but it's tough. Like, just thinking about the season that I wanted for you guys, and just I don't know about you guys, but my life felt like coming into 2026, it just did a whole 180, I would say. Like, it was definitely like a lot has happened. A lot has happened. And I thought coming into this year that we we were on to bigger and better things, but January hit me strong. Hit me definitely strong. I don't know how you guys feel, but January has been a little tough for me, just of the aspect of personal life and work life, and it's tough. It's definitely tough. So I know that if I want to be more consistent with you guys, I'm going to have to kind of like schedule this in and kind of figure it out. And I said probably every Monday that I would drop something, and I thought it would have a lot more videos to record, but it's definitely hard to fit that in my schedule. Um, a little bit backhand where my New Year's was great. It was spent by myself, and I think a little bit back to myself, like when I spent my New Year's. First of all, New Year's is very important to me. I'm not really a big fan of like the holidays such as like Christmas and Thanksgiving. I understand that's for the family, but maybe because like I don't have an immediate family, such as like I'm not a wife, I don't have kids, that it's not so big for me. But New Year's, to me, is just like it's a fresh new start. And to me, it's like I get excited. Like, I don't know about you guys, but let me tell you, hold on, let me get a little comfortable here. For me, the New Year's, I do a whole cleanse. And I've always done this. I've probably done this for about like 10 years. But before the New Year ends, I clean out my phone with photos, and I just make sure that I start back at zero. So I clean out all my photos, I put it on my hard drive, and I put like for the year. So like for 2025, I just put like a file in my hard drive, and I just like take all the photos and put it in there. And I don't really organize them. I used to like how like of the year photo folder. I put like friends, my family, vacations, things like that. But it just got a lot. It just got a lot of time. And right now it's just like, I just need them off my phone. Like, that was like my biggest thing. Like, let's just get off the phone and that's it. So that's one thing that I do is I clear out my phone and I put it all on a hard drive. And then second thing that I do is I kind of do like a little reset in my room. So it's either clothes wise or cleaning, and as well as just like probably like setting the tone or the mood for the next year. So for recently, because I didn't have a lot of time, I couldn't put so much effort into like having a cleanse in my room and a reset. So what I did is just like I kind of just like tidied up here and there. I threw away old stuff that I didn't need in. I rearranged my room a little bit just here and there. I think like just put a little couple shelves up and panels just so like I don't know, I could just feel a little different. Like I just like I'm all about the big new year and just feeling like a little different and having like the whole atmosphere and vibe going into the new year. So that would be a second thing that I do. A third thing that I do as well is I get a planner for the year. I do digitally. Everything's on my iPad. When I discovered that, I think I started doing that about 5 years ago when I found out that there's like a digital planner. I said the less things I could fucking carry, perfect. And it's cool because like I have it connected to my phone, so anything like, so for instance, like Good Notes, I get a planner from Etsy and then I pretty much do my whole year. So I would say that it pretty much takes me about a week. About a week that I clean my room, I do a reset on my phone, take out the photos, as well as like my planner. Because my planner, like I kind of just tie in here and there, like the birthdays, any big events coming up, birthday parties, vacations. This year I have a lot of things going on, so I had to like put that all in. And I did as much as I can for the time that I had because I was on really, really like short notice of just like trying to get it all done. And I'm a little bit mad at myself that like my time management wasn't great, but I feel like I got a good 90% of it done, so I'm a little happy. But coming into the new year, like I always, I remember when I was a little girl, I think, no, actually, yeah, like every time when I was little, we had 2 weeks of vacation off. So obviously, because Christmas and then New Year's, it's our winter break. So when I was little, we used to go to Mexico a lot. So for Christmas, it was like we spent time in Mexico. For New Year's, we spent time in Mexico. So it was just like a family aspect and like it was so big for us. So I like Christmas was cool, presents and stuff like that. But the New Year, it's like the fireworks, like everybody getting together, celebration. And I just felt like out of all the years, like out of all the holidays, New Year's was definitely, it felt more loving. And I think perspectively, like what I'm thinking is that I think everybody was in the right mindset of like new year, leave everything in the past and just a fresh new start. And for me, that's definitely what it was. And that's definitely what it is now. And I love that. So, New Year's for me is something that I take off all the time for work, but this is the first time that I didn't. And I think because of like my job that I didn't have a lot of time of vacation time. So we only get 3 weeks off and 3 personal days. And unfortunately, we can't spread out what those 3 weeks are. We got to put like a full week. So last year, I had to schedule some things in that I couldn't really take New Year's off because it was like I miss out on something so great or the New Year's. And I feel like I, I for sure could have time managed that better, but I just said, you know what? It's okay. New Year's, my thing is that New Year's, I was excited because I have a traveling job. So I was thinking to myself, oh, like if I, wherever I'm at for my job for New Year's, it's going to be great. I'm going to spend it in a new state, new place, and great friends. And probably my friends will come through and we're just going to live our best lives. But it wasn't like that. I spent it by myself and I was exhausted. And coming into the new year, it was fucking rough. Like, I'm just going to talk about me personally, aspect where it was definitely tough. Like, I was exhausted because of my job and I was going through a rough time in my job at that moment. I would say kind of digging a little more deeper into that is that I think it was like a mentally thing because my job is challenging and it takes a mental and physical toll out of you, but this project was definitely a lot. And it took a lot of me mentally that I kind of checked out on that it was New Year's. And it makes me sad because New Year's is so big for me. And when I say that I got 90% of my checklist done, I did. Like, I brought my laptop with me, my personal laptop, and I brought my hard drive to take out all my stuff from my phone. And for from somewhat odd reason, like for it to go from my phone through the computer to the hard drive, it would only let me do like every 10 pictures. And every 10 pictures, think about it, like I have like thousands. So every 10 pictures, and I really didn't have time. So anytime I came back to my hotel, I just did it and I was like, okay, good. And then I was like, oh, I remember. Let me do it. Another 10, another 10, another 10. So I pretty much, I don't got my phone on me, but I pretty much did it on let me see. I think I went on the 29th on my project, and like every day I'm gone 8 to 10 hours throughout the day. So like that's 15 pictures, like max 30 that I got onto the hard drive. So that was running slow. Let me tell you this. First of all, I I I my hard drive is at home, and I started doing when I got back home after January, and I think I got a good 300 pictures into my hard drive. So that's still in process. So clearly 2025 is rolling over to 2026, and my New Year's, I was exhausted and I was tired, and I totally forgot that it was New Year's. And at the current moment, I mean, at the current time, I was dating somebody, and he was in a different state, so he had to call me and tell me that, hey, wake up, like New Year's is so important to you, and I want you to like spend your New Year's. So, and I was literally dead asleep because I had to go to work. And mind you, I'm in a different time zone. So I'm from the West Coast, and I had to go to pretty much the Central, which is 2 hour difference. And I know maybe for you guys, like that's not a big difference, but I was going in at 5 in the morning. And at my time, that is 3. So, and then I had to wake up like at 4. So going back more on my time, it's 2 o'clock. But neither here nor there. I was exhausted. He called me. He was like, wake up. New Year's is very important to you. And like, you have 30 minutes. So I tried to wake up and I was like, oh my God, okay, I got this. I could do this. And then right when it turned New Year's, we were like excited, Happy New Year's. And then I heard all this like fireworks, commotion, everything, but I couldn't see anything. When I looked outside my window, I heard it, but I couldn't see it. So obviously my room probably didn't face the proper way, so I couldn't see anything. And then after that, like continuing my project, it didn't end until the 9th of January. So I I felt like it was just another day for me, and I just didn't feel like it was a new year. So I just kind of just coasted by. Um I don't have the exact date, but a few days after New Year, I want to say the 4th or the 3rd. Um mind you that I was having a really rough time at work. And we could probably go into a little more depths later about it. But I was having a really bad time at work. And sadly, I was letting it get the best of me, as well as letting it get my energy. So a few days after that, while I was like so tuned in work that I was kind of like a little off track, and we're already in 2026, I got some awful news. And I think like the worst thing that you can get is that someone passed. And that was tough. And my best friend, my roommate, and my sister. I call him my sister. He's gay. And he texted me that his best friend passed. And I think like I was speechless. I was hurt, and it sucked being far away. And I don't think you definitely cannot control what happens, where it happens, and especially where you're at. But to me, I just felt like it sucked. It sucked not being home. It sucked not comforting my friend. It sucks hearing news like that. And when you're not in the mindset, it hurts. It hurts that you just think about time. And that's what I had to come into the new year. With the news like that. After I got news like that, I comforted my friend as much as I can from a distance. And as soon as I could get home, I did. And it sucked because I was late on my job of completing, so I had to stay a little bit longer. And that took more time for me. And I am a person that do have New Year's resolutions. And this this new year, I I do a mood board. So that's another thing that I do for the year, and I've been doing that for the past 5 years. And I think the first time I did it, I was kind of like just throwing anything on there. And the second time I was like, oh, let me throw positive stuff out there. And the third time I was like, no, like let me dedicate a whole day to think about this and what I'm going to put and what I want to achieve. And I'm a really strong believer of putting good energy out there. What you put on that mood board is like something that's going to be determined, and you're going to be able to um, just put out there in the atmosphere. So, I'm sorry. So, I will probably show you guys if you guys want to see my mood boards. But 2 years ago, 2024, I put in my mood board some key things. And 2025, I really got them. And I was like, sorry, 2024, I put things on my mood board and I got them. And I was like, for my 2024 mood board. And it was like, okay, this is working. This strong believer, this is working. So 2025, I put more effort into it. And I was like, this is what I want. This is everything. And I got a good chunk of it. And something that I put on my mood board is a positive, stable relationship for 2025. In 2025, like, because I felt like I was in a really good place in my self growth journey, that I got it. And I was just like kind of stunned, like, oh my God, like, I like my mood board is coming more and more true. And this year, towards the end of last year, my relationship went rocky. and I could do a whole episode of that. Actually, I do want to do a whole episode of that. But my relationship was really, really rocky. And this year on my mood board, I put more about God. And I thought to myself, like, you know what? Like, I even changed my wallpaper to my phone to a God like wallpaper. That's my whole motive this year is God. Like, I'm gonna let God lead me. I'm gonna let God, I'm gonna walk in the path that He has for me, whether I accept it or not. Like, I'm gonna put all force in Him, and He's gonna guide me. And that's where I'm at, is that like I'm just gonna let God guide me. And so my mood board was mostly more about that. And I kind of took off love because I felt like if I'm in tune with God, then He's gonna put things in my path, and it's gonna be the timing that He wants to. So that's why I took love out of my mood board, because I felt like I needed to grow my faith more, and I needed to be more in tune with Him. And when I do, I know He's gonna grant me that when the time is right. And so my relationship was rocky at the end of the year. And like I said, like the beginning of the year, I felt like I wasn't ready. I got bad news. And I'm in here trying to like patch up my relationship and put my best foot forward. And things ended. Things ended. And it sucks. But in a way, I felt a little bit relief. And I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm like, damn, like I wish I would have left that in 2025. But then at the same time, it's like the year just started. So I can't take one bad day, one bad week, or even one bad month when I have 11 more chances. So January's tough. And January has been tough. And what is it? The year of the horses. And I guess the horses is like new beginnings or something like that. And I really wish I had my phone with me so I can like read the year of the horse. But when it says my horoscope, I was like, okay, like I'm gonna do all these things and all this stuff. But then obviously, like, I think right now is a shedding season for me where I'm shedding all the things that are not aligned with me, as well as I'm, I see that sometimes you have to go through the storm to see the sunny days. And as much as I would want to start the new year great and amazing, and as I always wanted to, I know that at the end of the day, God's teaching me something. And God's also removing things in my life that doesn't need to be there. And as much as it's definitely tough to see that, I need to live up to and promise what I was set to do this year. And that's let God lead me. So it's tough. But I know that it's barely the first month of the year. And I'm not going to let another 11 waste. And also, like, if things happen, and things change, and it's just January. But January has been tough for me. And we'll see what the next few weeks and days bring me. And hopefully the next episode won't be as long as when I had this one out. I'm going to try to get to you guys as soon as I can. But I want to just kind of get myself aligned and in tuned. And as well as like, I want to kind of give you guys as much raw as I can about me. Because my podcast my podcast is titled Let's Talk Honesty. So that's my title. Then I gotta live up to it. And I gotta be raw with you guys. And right now, it's a raw moment because life is lifing and things are tough. Like, I just had my best friend call me, and I want her to tell her own story on here, and I'm not going to put her on blast unless she lets me. But my best friend called me, and she was like, is it just me, or like January is coming in tough? Like, what happened to New Year, new me? And it's not like that. And I call her to feel that because it's tough. And I'm like, fuck. But it's okay. So I will see you guys in the next episode, and we will talk a little bit more and maybe get into a little bit more depths of my relationship. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe something else will come up. We never know. But we'll see you in the next one on Let's Talk Honesty. Thank you.